get her, just keeps on getting better with her hand in mine. So we're walking by the shore. I've got something to say, but words can't describe.
So for this first look, I'm just kind of starting out with messy hair, and I'm going to grab a chunk of hair at the top of my head, right next to my forehead. I'm going to split it into 3 pieces like I'm doing a braid, but today I'm actually doing a Dutch braid. So I want this right along the scalp, like right where my forehead reaches my hairline. So I'm pulling this super tight and making sure to hold it right along that hairline. And since this is a Dutch braid, we're pulling pieces from both sides under instead of going over like you would with other braids. So you're just going to do this Dutch braid technique until you reach your ear. Once you've reached the ear with the Dutch braid, then you're just going to continue to braid your hair just normal style all the way down until however far that you want to do it, and then you're just going to secure it with a ponytail. Then to just make the braid a little bit chunkier, you're going to basically take your hands and grab both sides of the braid and just pull it outward so that the pieces kind of pull away from each other. Like I said, this is just going to make it chunkier and it's going to look a lot cuter. And then I'm just grabbing the braid and the rest of my hair and pulling it back into a low ponytail and taking out the ponytail that is holding the braid, since now I have all my hair into my one hand. Then I'm just twisting that hair so that it will make a bun and securing it with a hairband. Then there was a couple little baby hairs sticking out around my hairline right there, so I'm just taking a bobby pin and shoving those little pieces back underneath the braids so that they don't stick out. Then I'm once again just pulling those pieces of the braids away from each other to make it a little bit chunkier. I pulled out a couple strands of hair on the opposite side of my head, and then I'm just tucking my hand under right there to make it a little bit more volumized, and that's the completed look. So for the second look, I'm starting out by brushing my hair, and I'm going to put my part where I always put it. For this look, it's better to have a part that's farther over so that one side doesn't have as much hair as the other. So on the side that doesn't have as much hair, I'm going to start out by doing a Dutch braid. Just like how I did it in the first hairstyle, I'm taking the pieces of hair, incorporating them from both sides, and pulling them under to make it the Dutch braid. But for this braid, I'm not using as much hair because I want it to be a smaller braid and have it not be as thick. So you're just going to do this down to the ear.
The summer rain is passing over, and it feels like a dream. I could run.
Once you've reached the ear, then you're just going to start doing a normal braid, and when you finish the normal braid, I've kind of just brought it behind my head here. I'm not really sure why I did this, but I brought it behind my head, and then I decided to finally put the little clear elastic in it to hold it so it doesn't fall out while I'm doing the rest of the hairstyle.
And all that I can see is you. I'm standing where the lightning strikes.
Then I'm gathering all my hair, including the braid, as if I were going to do a low ponytail, but instead I'm going to do a large braid with this. So I actually pulled out that little hair elastic that was in there while I was holding my hair in this larger ponytail, and now I'm braiding all of that hair together, just a normal style. There's nothing special about this, but just trying to do it pretty tightly right now, and then I'm going to secure it with a hairband.
Ask me anything you want to, 'cause the answer is yes. I'll spend my whole life.
Then, even though this is not a Dutch braid, I'm once again just pulling the strands of the braid away from each other to make it a little bit chunkier. I really just feel like this makes it like a different kind of style. And then to just add a little bit of, I guess I would say, volume to the side of my hair that the big braid's on, I just kind of tucked my hand under and kind of poofed it up, and that's the completed look.
Lightning strikes. I know this doesn't happen twice. You must be my once in a lifetime, in a lifetime. You must be my once in a lifetime.
So for this third look, we're going to start off by sectioning off a small chunk of hair nearest to the forehead, which you're seeing me do right here. So I'm just grabbing that chunk, and then I'm going to separate it into the 3 sections to start braiding. So this is just a very, very small braid, but we're going to braid it all the way from the top to the bottom. And when we've reached the bottom of our hair, we're going to secure it just by putting a bobby pin in that place, which we will then remove later. Once that first braid's done, we're just going to repeat this same process 2 more times, leaving a little bit of hair between those braids. I don't want the braids right next to each other, so I'm leaving a gap and then pulling the next section for the next braid. So once the braids are done, I'm basically taking the rest of my hair that's not braided and I'm putting it behind my shoulders just to get it out of the way. And I'm just going to start pulling it back into a ponytail. I'm going to brush it to smooth it out. And once you have all your hair into one of your hands for the ponytail, then I'm going to start pulling back those braids, and as I put it into my other hand that's holding the rest of my hair, I'm just sliding the bobby pin out as well. And then I'm just securing all of this with one larger hairband, so just like you would do any other ponytail. And then I'm kind of shoving my hand underneath my hair there to kind of give it a little bit more volume. And then you can just move your braids around slightly to get them to go exactly where you want them. For a little bit more of a messier look, I pulled out some of the hairs right by my ear that are just those baby hairs. And now I'm taking a section of my hair from the ponytail and I'm going to start braiding it. So once the section is braided, I'm just taking it and wrapping it around my ponytail where my hairband is. This is just going to hide the hairband and just give it more of a put together look while still looking kind of like messy and fun. And so then I'm just going to put a bobby pin in to secure it so that it stays in place, and that's the completed look.